Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aussie Sim Commentator channel here live for race number 2 of round 1 of the 2020 playoffs here for the Output Racing League. The Aussie Sim Commentator 120 from the Richmond Raceway. You see, everyone was just starting to get sorted onto the pits, getting ready to do a pit party here for the broadcast. One car still on track. That is the 2 of Chris Champeau coming into the pits now. So let's go and join everyone. I think we're going to go with the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. Cameras are so mostly zoomed out. Go this one. Take this one. It's going to be Hernandez and Christian Budd on the front row of the pit party. Kyle Kraus and Jaron Sanchez, row 2. We're off and racing for the pit party. Jonathan Hernandez with the inside start, taking the advantage, taking the run. Christian Budd trying to fight on that outside line to get back. Hernandez around in the background goes the 81 of Corey Williamson. Sounds like we have some more shenanigans as well. Big pile up in turn 3. Henty Cuff, Frank Isaacson. Oh, and around now goes the 48 of Andrew Perkins. Lots of cars getting sideways there as well. The 13 and the 4. Aaron Sanchez and the 13 was, of course, Travis Massia. Oh, drama's here. The 28 car has gone around. That's Zach Floyd. 22 of Gary Waterworth. Finally running his own number. Good to see. Frank Isaacson caught up in that one as well. One of Brandon Bennett. Probably see everyone's paint fade to white here in a second as we started trading paints. Should have done it before I started the broadcast, but I didn't. Oh, and around goes Hernandez. Frank was caught up in that one as well. The standings as they stand at the moment. Christian Budd in the lead, a 21.341. That is 2/10 clear of Michael Sturgill P2 for the championship protagonist right up the field there. Hernandez is in 3rd, Sanchez 4th, Harmon in 5th, Travis Massia P6. Chambliss is up into 7th. Oh! As the 2 of Chris Champeau just got almightily launched into the air. Now see Gary Waterworth going off the wall. It's a very hard track, running the low downforce 750 horsepower package. Governor 1, the 81 of Corey Williamson. He's currently down in 15th. 23 drivers signed up this race at the moment. Strength of field, including myself, to make 24 people in server. 2675. That is a very nice little number indeed, as we see Matt Horton in the 9 getting it a little bit wrong there. Perkins with 48, and now his paint's not showing up. Start spreading paints again, get it to work. There's Sturgill in the 90. Five of Mark Penticuff. So give training paints a little bit here for it to load. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Mark turned in just that slight little bit too much. He paid for it. Gary Waterworth in the 22. Remember, this is not the paint scheme that these guys are going to be running with. As around goes Gary Waterworth in the 22. Oh, just clipped Matt Horton. Matt got stranded in the middle of the track, unable to get out. 24, Frank Isaacson. Behind him, the 28 of Zach Floyd. It's taken a while with loading the paint. Some of the paints have loaded in, some have not. Now we see Frank in his familiar autism awareness number 24 car. That's not normally the paint we see on the 13. Michael Watkins behind these guys. And the 4 Darren Sanchez. Frank's actually doing a really good job of holding them all up, but that becomes disastrous. Just as I was saying something about it. '55 of Sam Niederhelm. See if we can get a few more of these paints to go up. Oh, and around, I think that's Andrew Perkins in the 48. It is. You guys can't tell because you can't see his paint. There it is. Tony Stewart throwback scheme. All paints should be correct now. It's looking like we're pretty damn close to having paints correct. I was saying that John Lozelle would be in the actual 23, still showing up as a 9. So that could be an issue. As we have 15 minutes left in this practice, as Jonathan Hernandez sideways in turn 4. So with the package that we got here today, the high horsepower, low downforce, cars are very slidey, especially on corner exit, as displayed there by John Lozelle. So the exit of 4 and the exit of 2 are going to be two areas that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. The slidiness. There's a 19 Michael Sturgill going for a spin as well. Also have the new build coming out today on iRacing. Bring the introduction of the Nashville Fairgrounds. That'll be a pretty cool track to trip some laps around in. And Dirt Oval is getting a new track as well, in the form of the Weed Sport track. I'm saying tonight because it's tonight for me, tomorrow for the Americans. For me, the new build will start at 8 p.m. when iRacing servers will go down so they can affect the changes. And that'll be 8 a.m. for Eastern USA. Also heard that there's going to be a whole bunch of new rallycross tracks coming to the service. And one new off-road trucks track. That's pretty cool as well. As around goes Matt Burgess. Nice little 360 and continues on his way. He's going to stop and reset. As I said, we've got 23 cars on track, 26.75 strength of field. Top 10, I'm going to go through them quickly. It's going to be Christian Budd, Michael Sturgill, Jonathan Hernandez, Jaron Sanchez, Thomas Harmon, Travis Massier, Brian Chambers, Kyle Krause, and Brian Pizzacami, and Zach Floyd. Zach Floyd being 0.316 off the pace of Christian Budd. Christian Budd 0.2 faster than everyone else, which is incredible. It looks like everyone is actually in the pits, so we might get another pit party here. With 10.5 minutes left to go in the practice session. But the 48 of Andrew Perkins has taken this one from the pole. We're going to stay focused on crashes though. Perkins does take the advantage over Hernandez. Oh, there's a slidey car there. That's the 22 of Waterworth. Everyone just about manages to miss him, but there's another incident. Matt Horton and Kyle Krause. Corey Williamson nowhere to go. Another one coming off turn 4. 2 to 36 and a 13. Chris Champeau. Travis Massier and Michael Watkins. Oh, Jaron Sanchez goes around, so does John Lazelle. Sanchez collected Chambliss and Sturgill. Lazelle collected the 5 of Penticuff. Of course, a name that bears my branding will probably be complete and utter chaos race, and I expect nothing less. And that trend started all the way back in the first Martinsville race, which unfortunately was not broadcast due to outside circumstances. Oh, and around goes Zach Floyd. The 38 of Thomas Harmon involved. The 48 of Andrew Perkins involved. I think the 13 was in that one as well. Zach just got the car stopped. On the back straight around was Matt Horton in the 9. I see the 1 of Brandon Bennett was stopped on the entry to 3. So lots of shenanigans are going to occur here in this race. Everyone's going to want to have to take it easy if they expect to survive this race. Don't forget, for all the chase drivers, one bad race could mean a lot, as we see Matt Burgess attempt drifting 1 and 2. Didn't work out. And then the 38 Thomas Harmon nowhere to go, drifting as well, straight into him. Got Waterworth, who stopped there on the entry to 1, went for a reset. Zach Floyd trying to practice some overtaking maneuvers. Christian Budd still 0.2 faster than everyone. No one has been able to get close to his time. Oh, as around in the background there goes Matt Horton in the 9. 88 on track 9 in the standings. 2 88s in this race. Almost a little bit of a bump there from the 13 on the 2. There's Matthew and Chris Champo. That Burgess says, thank you. I'll just move myself up into this gap that you formed. Oh, big crash in the background there involving the 50 of Christian Budd. Didn't think we'd see that occur. Frank Isaacson having some trouble on the front straight. And a little bit of a gaggle here in the back. Corey Williamson almost turned down into Matt Burgess there. Got 4 minutes, or 4.5 minutes left in practice. Will these guys go on to qualify? And around goes Watkins in the 36 into the inside wall. This was the race. That would be his race over. Background to 28, going around. Oh no, Frank just tapping Sturgill. It's not the first time these two have come together in practice. People having trouble getting into pit lane there. Oh, and now around goes Thomas Harmon off the nose of Frank. Darren Sanchez going for a spin all by himself down the front straight. Oh, Gary Waterworth overcorrecting the slight little slide he had going. Gonna go park it in the pit, the winning area there. So 60 Kyle Kraus also coming into some grief. There's the 21 at Chambliss. There's a 23 on the standings, a 9 on track of John Lazelle. Right, guys, we're going to go to a commercial break now. And when we come back, the grid should be sorted out and we should about be getting ready to roll off. So make sure you guys stay tuned because I'm expecting this to be a bit of an exciting race. So you guys want to make sure you are here for that. Alrighty, we are back and the grid has been set. It's time for us to go through it and see where everyone is at. On the pole, no surprise, it's going to be the 50 of Christian Budd with a 21.527 on his outside. Will be the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. P2 is going to be the 2 of Chris Champeau. On his outside will be the 4 of Jaron Sanchez. P5 will be the 12 of Matt Burgess, with P6 being the 90 of Michael Sturgill. P7 will be Thomas Harmon in the 38 car, with P8 being Zach Floyd in the 28 car. P9 will be the 6 of Evan Rice, with P10 being the 21 of Brian Chambliss. We've got Mark Penticup in 11th, with Andrew Perkins in 13th. Michael Watkins in... Mark Penticup in 11th, with Andrew Perkins in 12th. Michael Watkins in 13th. Frank Isaacson 14th, because I'm an idiot and I don't like numbers apparently. Kyle Kraus will be 15th. Jonathan Bell P16. Gary Waterworth in 17th, with John Lazelle in 18th. Brian Pizzakemi 19th. With Sam Niederhelm in 20th. Travis Masia 21st, with Corey Williamson 22nd. 23rd will be Brandon Bennett, and last but not least, Matt Horton will be the 24th position. 24 drivers take on this race. 25 people in the server, myself included. Strength of field is a 27-13. And now it's time for us to get serious. Rolling off the grid now. Like everyone besides Matt Horton made it onto the grid. So I'm not sure what happened to Matt there. One more time around, we'll get the green flag. Watch this from the back of this car. Oh, that's a terrible back of the pace car. There we go, the pace car is in. We're off and racing here for the Aussie Sim Commentator 120 live from the Richmond Raceway. And already the 50 of Christian Budd out to a big lead. Chris Champeau followed him through to take away second from Jonathan Hernandez, who has mired himself down in third. So far, everyone keeping it clean and green as we finish the first lap. Christian Budd is the leader. And look at the gap that Christian is already starting to grow over the 2 of Chris Champeau. Everyone seems to be taking it a lot easier at the moment. Being as though this is the race and they don't want to ruin anyone who is in the championship fight. Still some close, hard, fast racing going on though. Not for the leader, but for people a little bit further back. The 38 Thomas Harmon, he's just snuck up into 4th position in front of Matt Burgess. There's a little bit of a battle going on just behind them between the 4 and the 90 of Sanchez and Sturgill. Looks like Sturgill actually pretty strong there in that second lane, trying to make it work on the outside of Jaron Sanchez. And he's done it. It took him like 3 or 4 laps to get that move made, but finally Sturgill breaks through to get around the 4. Here comes Zach Wood as well now, looking to the outside of Sanchez. This is the battle for 8th right now between the 4 and the 28. And it looks like the 4 is going to prevail. We're just going to focus on crashes here for a little bit, because we don't know where or when incident may happen. Could be just about anywhere. '90 of Michael Sturgill there, looking to make a move on Evan Rice. This is for P6. And he gets that move made very quickly and easily. Coming out of turn 4 on a run into 1. Sturgill on a little bit of a charge here right now. Clearing the way out in front is the 50 of Christian Budd. Surprisingly, we haven't seen anyone encounter any major issues just yet. Go back to focusing on crashes. We found a battle. 22 of Waterworth on the inside. Andrew Perkins in the 48 on the outside. These guys battling for 17th. Waterworth will come home with that position. Let's just go and see how big of a gap this is for the 50 car. Go and have a look out of his gearbox. You know, it's not actually his gearbox, the iRacing thinks it is. That is what 2 seconds looks like around here at Richmond. Now see Sturgill stalking the 12 of Burgess. To the inside, Sturgill goes. And what a move, very nicely done. That is Sturgill now up into 5th. Another move being made there in the background. 28 of Zach Boyd looking to the inside of Jaron Sanchez. He's going to get that move done. That's going to put Boyd up into 8th. Sanchez down to 9th. We're going to keep an eye on this Michael Sturgill character because he is flying right now. Normally you can tell the chase drivers because they got the green stripes on their car. But Sturgill not running that on his car at the moment. Oh, Thomas Harmon. He made a mistake. Got loose coming out of turn 2. Sturgill's going to try and take advantage around the outside of last week's winner. And he does so. Sturgill now up into 4th. Told you we're going to keep an eye on Sturgill. He is charging through right now. Didn't get the best of starts, but he has been making the most of the pace that he's got. Not as much as Christian Budd, who is really, really far ahead. There he is. Saw him in the camera. Oh, here goes Sturgill, and there's contact. Around goes Hernandez. But no one is going to touch Hernandez but Sturgill. Forcing it to the bottom of Hernandez there. Back that up and have another look at it. So we're focused on Hernandez here. Hernandez was going for a move on Chris Champeau going into turn 1. Sturgill had the same thought on Hernandez. Came from a long way back and just taps him in the left rear, which sends the 88 car around. Everyone is coming into the pits now. That's what happens when two championship contenders come together. That's going to put Hernandez right on the back foot here. Hernandez actually not pitting. Rolled down the pit lane but didn't pit. Lane 2 for Brian Chambliss. Rolled down the pit lane but did not pit. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll go through the grid really quickly, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, we are back. Just as we come back, Jonathan Hernandez is going into the pits now. Going to be Christian Budd from Chris Champo, Thomas Harmon, Michael Sturgill, Matt Burgess, Evan Rice, Zach Floyd, Baron Sanchez, Michael Watkins, and Kyle Kraus as your top 10. As we are on 1 to green now. Jonathan Hernandez is going to be restarting from the back of the bus. He's getting new tyres now and looks like fuel as well. Brian Chambliss is back in 22nd. Travis Masia is in 23rd. And Hernandez, well, actually, no, Chambliss will be 21st. Masia 22nd and Hernandez 23rd. But let's go back up to the front of the pack now. As we're getting ready to go back to green, the pace car is in. We're off and racing, coming out of turn number 4. Another good jump there for the 50 car of Christian Budd. 38 of Thomas Harmon taking over second place from Chris Champo. And just like the first start, Chris Champo dropping to third, like Hernandez before him. There is Michael Sturgill sitting there in P4 at the moment. He's got the 12 and the 6 battling it out behind him. Matt Burgess and Evan Rice. There's quite an enthralling battle going on there behind. Looks like Evan Rice is just taking the advantage. Here comes Zach Floyd now looking to the outside of Matt Burgess. Oh, looks like Zach might have gotten into the wall ever so slightly there, just slid into it. Still side by side though. But they're side by side behind them as well. There's Lizelle and Watkins behind these guys. Sanchez looking like he wants to try and get involved in this battle ahead of him. They're still side by side. Looks like Zach Floyd now has the advantage with the momentum on the outside line. Still a battle going on between Lizelle and Watkins though. And behind Sanchez there's another battle between Kraus and Waterworth. Looks like Lizelle on the inside line takes the advantage this time. Watkins trying to fight back on the outside, not going to get it done. Kyle Kraus in the 60 now. Takes the advantage in the battle between himself and Waterworth, now looking to the inside of Sanchez. Sanchez not fighting him too hard. Still hanging on there on the outside line. Loses the position now, slots back into place. And is able to defend from Waterworth. And have a look at Sturgill now, see what he's up to. He's right up on the back of Chris Champo. And again, already, Christian Budd veering away from the field. Already out to a 2-second lead over Thomas Harmon. This is where the main battle is. Battle for third. close quarters at the moment. No actual battle going on yet, but you know that 90 of Virgil hungry to try and make something of this. It looks like there was a little bit of interdimensional portal experimentation going on towards the back there. I do believe that was the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. Thomas Harmon starting to pull away from Chris Champo and Michael Sturgill here. There is the 24 on track, the 27 in the standings of Jonathan Bell. So we still have, I was going to say 288s, but we don't, because the 9 of Matt Horton actually did not take the start. The slow car on the front straight, the 48 of Andrew Perkins. See what happened to Andrew here. We're not going to slow it down, get it at full speed. And sideways. He's lucky he did not bring out a caution there. Well held. Now he's at risk of going a lap down to Christian Budd. Here is that interesting little battle that we're having a little bit of a look at before. The actual 88 of Jonathan Hernandez, after being at the back of the pack on the restart, working his way back up to 12th now. Just getting around Jonathan Bell, putting him back to 13th. Next person on his list of people to overtake will be the 22 of Waterworth. Battle is continuing on now. Sorry for the radio silence there. I was just watching this battle intently, seeing how it was developing. Battle going on in front as well between Watkins and Sanchez. They're battling over 9. Sanchez to the inside of Watkins. Hernandez to the inside of Waterworth. Watkins takes it very wide to give Sanchez plenty of room, but it also gave him a lot of momentum coming out of turn 2 there. He was able to maintain position for the moment. I can't imagine that the outside line is too terribly good on tyres. Now it looks like Hernandez has made his choice on which line he's going to follow. He's going to follow Sanchez. In the background now, it looks like the 21 of Chambliss got a little bit sideways coming out of turn 4. Managed to gather it back up. Looks like now the 4 of Sanchez has the advantage on the inside. Hernandez almost thinking about making it 3 wide. Not going to do it this time. As it's very close quarters. Now we have 3 wide. Oh, that was close to becoming disaster there. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. Sanchez now up into 9th. Hernandez up into 10th. He's going to look at getting around Sanchez very quickly here. These guys have fallen off the rest of the pack here. All the battling has slowed them up immensely. Hernandez now into P9. Here comes Waterworth now to try and take 10th away from Sanchez. And he's got that move made, so Sanchez now down to 11th. We're now going to go up and have a look at our 4th place driver, Chris Champeau, who is leading this line of cars here. The group in front of the one we were just witnessing. So this little group is Champeau, Rice, Floyd, Lizelle, and Burgess. They're not battling as much, which allowed them to pull away from that second group of cars, but now with Hernandez and Waterworth released from behind the slower vehicles, they're actually starting to catch up to this group now. This group is actually struggling to catch up to Andrew Perkins there, who is a lap down. Evan Rice looking to make the move on Champeau to take away 4th. Perkins getting into the wall in front of them and pulling down to the inside of the track to get out of the way. Very well done after what could have been a huge disaster. As the 28 of Zach Floyd sneaking his way through. Lizelle, the 9 on track, the 23 in your standings. Also looking for a way around Champeau. Not going to get it this time. Although he does have the run. Pulls to the inside. Zach Floyd made a big mistake somewhere. That checked up Champeau immensely. Now Lizelle looking to the inside. Not going to be able to get the move made this time. Matt Burgess behind is also looking pretty hungry there. And just behind the lap down car is the 88 of Hernandez, as we've just gone halfway in this race. So 60 laps down, 60 laps to go. Although a little bit less than that for the 50, who is just completed lap 61, and he's starting to put more cars lap down now. But let's go back to that battle that we were watching. Oh, Zach Floyd, a little bit loose in front of Lizelle. Lizelle's now going to look to the outside to see if he can make this move work. Going to be a close, hard battle between these two. But Lizelle looking like he's got the advantage. And he does. He takes a position away. Zach Floyd now down to P6. So it might seem that Hernandez choosing to pit so late under that caution was quite the worldly decision. I'm not sure what the fuel burn is like around here, but we might have some people that could be a little bit fuel compromised. are starting to get strung out here. So let's just focus on crashes for a second, see where we end up. And we've got a battle going on just behind Zach Boyd here, between the 12 of Matt Burgess and the 2 of Christian Poe. And here comes Jonathan Hernandez. Remember, he restarted at the back of this pack, and now he's made his way up into 8th, just in front of Christian Poe. Hernandez is definitely going to be a guy to watch here as the race continues on, as long as he doesn't get spun out again. I do know there was no malice in that from the 90 of Michael Sturgill. And just having a look at the standings, Thomas Harmon has actually dropped back to 3rd. Sturgill taken over 2nd place in the race. Sturgill actually consistently the fastest car on track. Hernandez, 2nd fastest car on track. So that's a little bit of food for thought right there. Hernandez trying to look for a way around Matt Burgess to find one just ahead. But he is hungry to get back towards the front of this field. Now here goes Matt Burgess to the inside of Zach Floyd. Hernandez is going to try and follow him. These guys are battling it out for 7th. And it looks like Burgess is going to take that position. So is Hernandez just about. Burgess P6, now Hernandez P7, Zach Boyd down to 8. And I promise you guys, this is the best battle going on track at the moment. The leader is out to a huge lead. 2nd place is got a fair bit of distance over 3rd. 3rd place has a big distance over 4th. 4th place has a little bit of distance over 5th. So these guys are where it's at the moment. So these guys are starting to catch 4th and 5th. That's Evan Rice and John Lozelle, the 6 and the 23. I say 23, but the 9 on track, 23 in your standings. So you guys can get completely confused with the custom numbers. Hernandez now starting to look very racy here behind Matt Burgess. Like he might have tapped the wall there a little bit on the back straight. Lost a lot of time to Matt Burgess. And now he's also got Zach Floyd all over his tail. as our leader, the 50 of Christian Budd, now starting to get into some heavier lap traffic. Just put 24 of Frank Isaacson a lap down. Frank down in 18th at the moment. And Frank's actually come to the pits. Frank has come in for a pit stop with about 40 laps to go in this race. So too does the 27 on the standings, the 24 on track of think for a second. Jonathan Bell. So the 224s are in the pits. Here comes the 81 into the pits as well. And the 13 and the 1. They all just very happily got out of the way of the 50 of Christian Budd. Here comes the 88 into the pits now. Same too with the 28. Let's go and watch our leader when he decides to come into the pits. And he's coming in this time, taking a very, very calm, cool, and collected entry into the pits. Now that is going to put Michael Sturgill into the lead of this race in the 90 car. Sturgill not pitting this time. 38 of Thomas Harmon still on track as well. 12 of Matt Burgess coming in. And here comes Sturgill coming into the pits this time. Have a look at Thomas Harmon. He's staying out. Christian Budd has stayed out on the track, has gone a lap down through the pit stop cycles. The 6 of Evan Rice coming into the pits now, pitting from second. We only have 6 cars on the lead lap. Soon it will be 5. As now the 23 comes into the pits. 5 cars on the lead lap, soon to be 4. Thomas Harmon running the higher line to allow the guys with fresher tyres through. Now here comes the 78 into the pits. That's Brian Pizzicami pitting from third. Now we've only got 3 cars on the lead lap as the 48 of Andrew Perkins has come into the pits. And we're going to have 3 cars on the lead lap again if Harmon stays out this time, because Christian Budd has just unlapped himself. There it is, 3 cars on the lead lap. Two more cars left to pit, and that's Waterworth and Harmon. Harmon coming in this time. See what Waterworth does. And he is staying out. So Waterworth now in the lead of this race. 2 more cars back onto the lead lap now. And there is the safety car. and I think it was for the 48 of Andrew Perkins. Him stopped over there in turn 1. See what happened to Andrew here. Slow it down as he comes into turn 1. And he just gets sideways. Sideways on entry. And around he goes for a big drift. Doesn't have very much throttle input into it. He puts a little bit into it there, gets off it. Then he just decides to lock up the brakes. Giving everyone behind him plenty of time to react. And everyone managed to miss him. That did bring the caution out. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see the fallout from those pit stops. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, we are back. We are joined in the booth right now by Andrew Perkins, but before that, the fallout from the pit stop sequences. Christian Budd is back in the lead. He has not pitted. He's got 13 lap old tires. I do believe he probably should have pitted because he would have been no worse than P6. There is a lot of people who are staying out to get waiver rounds. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 waiver rounds going on here. So that is absolutely nuts. Zach Floyd was the lucky dog. Now, Andrew, what happened to you going into turn 1 there, mate?
Cold tires and not being good at Richmond.
Oh, damn, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't expect to have much pace coming in. Not very much practice. You know, I picked up the track today, so didn't have a ton of time to practice. I got faster in qualifying actually than I had been all day, but I just didn't have any good practice on long run stuff. So I burnt my tires up real quick, and then that first run, by the end of it, I was like half a second off pace from guys in front of me. So just wasn't my race.
Well, glad to have you join us in the booth now as we go to the restart. The 50 of Christian Budd going out to a big jump early. And normally we see the guy who restarts second dropping back to third. That is Gary Waterworth at the moment. Still just holding on to second. But to the inside comes Michael Sturgill now. Try and take away that second. Unable to get it done at the moment. But he is definitely trying to make a race out of this one, Andrew.
Yeah, it sure is. One thing that stood out to me this entire race, just being on the track and having him get up to me pretty early, was Christian Budd. Just how dominant he's been all race.
Yeah, he is definitely showing a lot of dominance at the moment. But one thing that I do have to mention is Unfortunately, Jonathan Hernandez got caught a lap down in the green flag pit stop sequence. So when the caution come out, he is actually unable to get his lap back, and he's actually gone a further lap down under caution. He's down 22nd position, which is really unfortunate for his championship hopes here, Andrew.
Some might say major championship implications.
And it was all affected by you.
Hate to see it.
But we do like a little bit of drama here.
Oh, we do. I think that was my main reason for parking it was, I figured I might end up bringing out another caution. Worse, might take somebody else out that's in the chase right now. So I didn't want to do that to any of these guys that are up there battling. So figured it was wise to park it for the night.
Well, thinking about major implications, the 50 of Christian Budd not pitting there under the caution. He is facing some major implications here himself, because right on his tail, he's not being so dominant right now with those 13-lap older tires. Everyone is swarming behind him right now. There's the 90 of Sturgill, the 22 of Waterworth, 21 of Chambliss, and the 38 of Harmon right there behind him, just waiting for him to make one little slip up or for someone to just dive underneath him, try and take that position away.
Yeah, Bud was one of the first guys to pit in that sequence there, so he's on 10-lap older tires than most everybody else in the field right now. So it'll be exciting to see how this plays out for him.
It will indeed. I mean, the lack of pace that he's showing right now, definitely telltale of having the older tires, as now Michael Sturgill, for the first proper lead change of the race, swoops underneath Christian Budd to take the lead away there, Andrew.
Yeah, and just behind them, we see the 68 of Thomas Harmon starting to make a move on the 22 of Gary Waterworth. Let's see if he can get it pulled off here in this corner. Waterworth with the advantage. Harmon being slowed up by Christian.
Oh, Waterworth in the wall.
In the wall.
And that is now going to allow Brian Chambliss to look to the inside of Waterworth. Waterworth, who was fighting for third, now fighting to hold on to fourth, and he gets into the wall again, which makes it a pretty academic move there for Chambliss. And now 38 of Thomas Harmon looking to make a move on Christian Budd for second. This is becoming very quickly not Christian Budd's race, Andrew.
Absolutely, and while all of that was going on, it allowed the 90 of Michael Sturgill to open up just over a second gap.
Well, we'll have to wait and see whether he can hold it or not. We do know that he has quite a bit of pace here. He did catch, pass, and then pull away from Thomas Harmon earlier in that last stint before they came into the pits. It'll be interesting to see how all this is going to unfold and what the outcome of this race is going to become like. Now we're keeping an eye on Christian Budd, watching his fall from grace. He has the 21 of Brian Chambliss all over his back bumper. Of course, we know Brian Chambliss riding on a high right now after winning the US ANZ Racing League Championship. He was the championship of the regular season and the championship winner of the final race. So, yeah, Brian Chambliss definitely running on a bit of a high at the moment, Andrew.
Absolutely. And back up to our leader, Sturgill has managed to open up, well, on the straightaway, he was about a second and a half ahead of Thomas Harmon. And he seems to be in control of this race as we stand right now.
Indeed, it would appear that way, although in saying that, Sturgill lost 2/10 the first half of the lap. Gained one of them back, but lost a tenth for the entirety of the lap. So we'll have to wait and see. We've got 10 laps to go, Andrew.
We sure do. But sitting here looking at the timing screen, it looks like Sturgill is significantly faster on corner exit than Harmon is. So maybe a little bit better tire conservation on Sturgill's part.
It very well could be. But we'll have to just wait and see how the rest of this race is going to evolve. As I said, we still got a battle for third going on as well. As that battle is actually really starting to heat up now, because here comes Zach Floyd to the inside of Chambliss. Chambliss tried to get a move on Bud, and it didn't work out for him. And now the 28 car looking to take away fourth, so he can try his chance at getting that third place away. Andrew.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw Floyd successfully make that move there, but just behind him, Gary Waterworth is kind of creeping back up into the mix after getting into the wall a few laps ago.
Indeed, he is, as this race is definitely starting to string out a little bit, but these guys keeping it in the pack. Christian Bud definitely feeling the effect of those older tires, and he definitely should have pit. He would have been at worst P6 on the restart. So it's mind-boggling that he didn't actually pit under that caution.
As we see here, the 28 of Zach Floyd's trying to make a move on him here, and he will get past him.
And Zach definitely gets to the inside, pulls his nose ahead coming out of turn 2, and takes a wider entry to try and block out Christian Bud a little bit there, which allowed 21 of Chambliss to get underneath to take away fourth place as well here, Andrew, with 5 laps to go.
Yep.
That's all the input you got.
Gary Waterworth also making a move here on the 50 of Christian Bud. Let's see, he was ahead in the corner, but he's dropped back now on the straight.
This is definitely Christian Bud's fall from grace. One small mistake, and that was all it took, as he gets very loose there coming out of turn 4. He was sprint car sliding it on the exit, going towards the start-finish straight fence. Managed to keep a hold of it there, but it's definitely not good things going on for Christian Bud right now.
Absolutely not. And that also allowed Gary Waterworth to make a move on the inside and get past him. And Christian now has it's the 24 on track. I don't know who that is.
The 24 on track, the 27 in the standings of Jonathan Bell, who is a lap down.
Yeah, Jonathan Bell is closing right up on his he's closing right up on his bumper, but that's he's probably going to give Christian more problems here as we come to 2 to go rather.
With 2 to go, we will go back to our leader, who is the 90 of Michael Sturgill, and looking very strong. He has just been pulling away from Thomas Harmon ever since he took the lead. Was a couple laps there where they were kind of breaking even, kind of giving the advantage to Thomas Harmon, but just see the gap on track as it's forming. White flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for Michael Sturgill, and he is going to be so happy with this result. So too will the 38 Thomas Harmon, because they are up towards the front, and Christian Bud falling all the way down to P6, coming out of turn 4 for the final time. Your winner of the Aussie Sim Commentator 120 here from the Richmond Raceway, Michael Sturgill. P2 will go to Thomas Harmon. P3 will go to Zach Floyd. P4 to Gary Waterworth. P4 to Brian Chambliss. P5 to Waterworth. P6 Christian Bud. And that was an entertaining end to the race there, Andrew.
It sure was. It was great to see Sturgill able to capitalize on Bud's mistake in the pits there, or lack of being in the pits there, rather. Like you said, this could have huge championship implications for not only Christian Bud, but also we have to remember Jonathan Hernandez not being able to get his lap back when I brought out that caution.
That is exactly right, as we see Sturgill now commencing a victory lap, and we're going to wait for him to start ripping some skids. There he goes. He starts it early, coming off of turn 4. Guys, if you are a tier 2 sub to the Aussie Sim Commentator channel here on Twitch, then make sure you spam those burnout emotes. If not, then just spam whatever hype you've got in the chat. Sturgill, the winner in the second race of round number 1 of the playoffs here in the Airport Racing League 2020 season. But we are going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, we are back, and it's time for driver interviews, and we're kicking things off with the Speedway Memes Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger started from 10th and finished in 4th for a gain of 6. Here, of course, talking to our 4th place getter of Mr. Brian Chambliss in the 21 car. Brian, a great race from you here tonight, man. It looked a little bit sketchy earlier on with that long green flag run, but you pulled yourself back up to the top and got yourself into the top five with fourth.
Yeah, man. I didn't. I don't know. At other leagues and whatnot, I was doing pretty well here, but tonight I just could not figure it out. I don't know if something with the default set has changed, but I was blowing my right rear off. Normally, I'm trying to save the right front. Here, I could not save the right rear. I couldn't drive off the corner after about 20 laps, and then during that long green flag run, found myself in 15th, and I was, man, we're about midway of this run here. I'm towards the back in the playoff points. So I was like, why not just get here? So I went and pit. And when I pit, it wasn't too long after that everybody else started coming in. And then the caution came out and I found myself in fourth. And I was like, oh boy, what a break for me. But really, that's kind of what got me up there because I was good for about 5 laps. And then that was about it. And you can see that these guys around me were faster. But I mean, there at the end, I don't know, I just figured a little something out, and being that short of a run, right, didn't really matter all that much. I could blow it off as much as I wanted to then, but just about. But yeah, I'm not going to complain with fourth after a dismal performance last week.
Oh, it was definitely a little bit of a worldly strategy there to pit so early. Fresher tires before most of the other drivers, and managed to get yourself into a decent position when that caution did come out. What was your mindset um, thinking about whether a caution or not was going to come out? Were you worried that you were going to get trapped a lap down?
Yeah, normally here when we're under green flag pit stops, I don't know, I always get unlucky and the caution always comes out, immediately right after I pit when I'm running up towards the front. This one was, I mean, we still got the caution, but it worked in my favor. I wasn't really sure after I pit if I wanted the thing to go green all the way. I thought that I would probably end up better than 15th. So that's kind of why I took the gamble. And then, I mean, as you see, it paid off there. So it was really, it was just, hey, let's do something else. You got nothing to lose. I think I'm 15th in points, in playoff points coming in here. So I was like, might as well do something different. And like I said, it paid off.
Indeed, it did, man. And you're also riding on a high after becoming the USANZ Season 1 champion. So, do you reckon that little bit of momentum that you gained from that other league championship win definitely helped you out here today, especially in those last few laps after the restart, as you're trying to carve your way through and found yourself passing Christian Budd on the old tires?
Yeah, yeah. I want to say it was because I mean the races prior to that, that championship race where I was able to pull it out, both Darlington races were atrocious. Was wrecked out of both of them or severe damage in those. So that week prior to the Friday of that was not a good week for me, in anywhere. And then I just got that championship, and then had my other league race on Saturday that didn't go all that well. Team ran well, but I mean, we're 2 out of 3 on the ups. So I guess you could say a little bit of momentum, but I got a long way to go here. Christian, even though he didn't take tires there on the last run, still got a respectable finish there in 6th place. So he's the guy to beat. I'm pretty positive. If you look at it now, he's still the points leader, and I got a long way to go if I'm going to try to get there. But unlikely. But hey, you never know. That's why we still race these things. You never know what can happen.
Oh man, at least you had a good run today to try and negate the effect of last week's race. And before we let you go here today, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yep. Thank the league. Jaron puts on a great show here. All the drivers out here. It was a lot of fun. A lot of respectful driving out there. Thank you for broadcasting, and thank my family for putting up with this. Got to thank the Billies for encouraging us. Teammate Sturgill had a hell of a run, obviously with the win there. Couldn't do it in the spotter stand without Billy, and then it supports me through the year and everything. So other than that, that's it. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on the Hard Charger Award, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
I'll be here to pair him up again.
All right, guys. So that was today's Hard Charger Award winner, the 21 of Brian Chambliss, and pretty good strategy there from him, Andrew, to get him back up towards the front of the pack.
Oh, absolutely. And just looking at the race stand or the championship standings, with that finish tonight, he moves up 6 places in the championship standings.
That is definitely some very good news. I haven't actually checked the standings myself, so up before we bring out next driver. Up. So coming up next is going to be our third place driver. And what an emphatic third place it was after such a hard battle to get there. We're going to be talking to the 28 car of Mr. Zach Floyd. Zach, back in the top 3 again, man. First and foremost, how do you feel that you survived Richmond?
Oh, I'm really glad to get a good run this week after DQing myself last week. Needed this.
Indeed, you did. You gained 4 positions standings. You're now up to P6, and some would say in a relatively safe position heading into the end of the round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, I've been really streaky lately. I think the last 4 finishes have been like third, DQ, wrecked out, and then a third at Dover. So I need to get that fixed up. I feel pretty safe, but a wreck or a DQ next week might put me out. So just got to avoid that next week. But I'm looking forward to Bristol. Probably one of my better tracks.
Now, it was a bit of a difficult race here today, being as though we had that long green flag run that led into the green flag stops, and then that caution comes out before everyone had finished pitting. What was your thought process going into that final restart, knowing that Christian Budd was on old tires?
Yeah, I got lucky there on that caution that I was the lucky dog. And came through the field pretty good and called up to Bud, Chambliss, and Gary, and was able to just kind of get through them relatively clean, but I had to fight for it. And once I got past Bud, kind of knew I was going to be set in stone there in P3 unless caution came out or found a way to wreck it, which could have happened, but didn't.
It was definitely an incredible little fight there, man. Um, what was it like just trying to fight through that little bit of a pack that was in front of you? Uh, Also with all the wave around drivers lining up behind you and going for broke.
Yeah, I got around some of the lap guys pretty easy. That was them just giving the way to me, so good on them. And then what got me most of my runs and passes was I was doing a little bit of a dime in the corner coming out of 2, a little cut down move, and it was giving me most of my runs to get on people going into 3 and 4. That was pretty much how I got by those 3 guys.
All right, man. Now let's look forward to next week where we do go to Bristol. What is the feeling like for you? I know you said you're looking forward to it, but let's get a little bit more into it. Why are you looking forward to it? And what do you reckon your pace is going to be like there?
Yeah, I remember in the spring race I qualified second and ran there for a while until my internet cut out or something. I don't remember what it was, but looking forward to make up for that race. So hopefully have another good finish like this, top 3, top 5, top 10 even. I'd be safe with that. So just looking forward to that, getting a good finish next week.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, give a shout out to Jaron, everybody that puts on the league. You for doing the broadcast. They're always great. And it's a really fun league. Glad to be a part of it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Zach. Congratulations on getting third, and we look forward to seeing you again next week at Bristol.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. That was today's third place getter, the 28 car of Zach Floyd, and Zach was the wave around driver on that final restart, Andrew. So him going from what was seventh to third after having to navigate the lap traffic as well as the guys he was battling for position, definitely no mean feat.
No, absolutely. It's really impressive to see how he was able to battle and slice his way up through the field and secure that third place finish.
All right, but coming up next, we got a man who should be very excited with this second place and very excited that his championship rival finished down in P6 because we are now talking to our new championship leader, the 38 car of Thomas Harmon. Thomas, a great race from you here tonight, man. You were up towards the front pretty much the entire race once you got up there, but just didn't quite have the pace to catch Sturgill, both in the long run and after the restart there at the end.
Yeah, I put myself behind the 8 ball trying to trap everybody when I was on pit road when the caution come out. I decided to just drive through pit road, and it made me let the pace car and everybody else by, and then didn't let me pit with the lead lap car. So I put myself back in the pack on that final restart. But I know Sturgill had me covered on the long run. He just had that long run figured out with how he was running the track, and I just couldn't mirror it.
It definitely looked like, especially in that final restart, you weren't off it by much, but those couple of tenths here and there really do add up, don't they?
Yeah, I knew I was better than him in 3 and 4, but just his entry into 1 and 2 was absolutely killer, and I don't think there's anything I could do to make up for it. I knew if I was in front, I could have a chance at cutting the run off, but just nothing I could do with him being in front of me.
Now, on the flip side to that, main championship rival, Christian Budd, electing not to pit on that final caution. What was the thought process like for you, and how you're going to handle him being out there on 10-lap older tires?
I was completely perplexed at his decision to stay out there. I don't know what he was thinking, but I figured he might have known something or might have been trying to experiment with warmer tires versus colder tires because it was real slick on the colder tires. And but I knew to get by him, I would just have to send it, and that's kind of what I started doing on everybody once Chambliss and Gary got themselves figured out there.
And then we're looking forward towards next week. We're going to quite possibly one of your more favorite tracks with the Bristol Motor Speedway. What's the feeling like for you? And do you reckon you'll be in a shot to maintain the championship lead coming out of round number one?
Well, since I get to attend that race now, or get to race in that race now, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Really excited, and Christian better just pray I don't get near him. I'll give him a run for his money.
All right, that's what we look forward to seeing. But before we let you go here tonight, Thomas, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you up in the booth, broadcasting it to all the fans out there, all the fans that are watching every week. It looked like you had a good crowd tonight too. So thanks everybody, and then all the competitors out there, and all the ORL admins, drivers council, all those guys are good group.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Thomas, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Bristol.
Hopefully I'll win it, but we'll find out.
All right, guys, so there we go. The 38 of Thomas Harmon, the new championship leader, as we come out of race number 2. Hopefully he can maintain that going into round number 2 of the playoffs, Andrew.
Yeah, it'll be very crucial next week for him to see if he can hold on to that lead going into the I guess the round of 12 the following week. But great finish by him this week to move him up to the championship lead.
Now, it's not a very big lead, just having a look at the standings right now, only by 4 points, so it could be a bit of a hard slog, even though Bristol is one of his more favourite tracks, Andrew.
Yeah, I think though he'll have the advantage, the safety net rather, being able to finish, anywhere in the field really, and still move on. So the finish this week and the finish last week, he's put himself in a good place going forward.
All right, so coming up next, driver who will be really excited to hear his name being called out as the winner. Our fourth place in the standings, 14 points off the lead, 2 points off of the third place driver in the standings. We're, of course, talking to today's winner, the 90 of Michael Sturgill. Michael, excellent race from you here tonight, man. You seem to have the pace when it comes to the long run, including over Christian Budd, who started to fade there towards the end of the green flag run. But what was it like for you on that restart, trying to get your way around everyone, knowing that Christian Budd had the older tires, and this was your perfect opportunity to try and go for the win?
I just wanted to stick right behind Christian and not let anyone between me and him. I wanted just to work him over until I got the top spot there for that final run.
Definitely a bit of a hard slog for you early on in the second run after the first restart. You had a lot of fighting to do to get your way through the field. Uh, what was the thought process like for you trying to navigate the traffic?
Um, just to try to get past everybody as cleanly as possible, not you know, in the process burn the tires completely off the thing. Just try to really be slow and fast at the same time.
All right, now let's have a look at the first caution. We're not going to actually have a look at it, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you went for a dive on Hernandez while he was in the process of trying to go for a dive on Chris. Um, was it just a case of both of you trying to go for the same move, or was it just you were a little bit impatient and you were just trying to get in there quickly?
I haven't watched it, but in the race, I was running a slightly different line than they were, and it seemed like it was letting me drive it a little deeper into the corner, and I think I just got in too deep on him, and I tried to lift and check up because I knew I was getting close to him, and I got him turned around, and want to apologize again to him for that. I think he knows it was not anything malicious, but feel really bad for that one.
All right, man. Now let's look forward to next week. We're going to another short track motor speedway. What's the feeling like for you heading into the world's fastest half mile?
I like Bristol. It can be sketchy at times for sure. Hopefully the racing's good like it was tonight. Everyone was really clean. Hopefully it carries forward to Bristol. We're gonna have another solid showing there.
All right, man. Now before we let you go here tonight and let you go to enjoy the thrills of victory, uh, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Gotta shout out the Billies. I was especially well last week at Darlington. My performance was less than stellar, and I didn't have my spotter there, uh, coaching me on. He came back tonight, and well, we all see what happened. Shout out to my dad. I know he always watches these things, which is pretty cool. And shout out to everyone that runs the league and puts this on, and shout out to you for broadcasting this. It's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, man, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Bristol.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that was the 90 of Michael Sturgill, today's winner, and what an emphatic victory it was, Andrew.
It was, like you said, towards the end of the race there, Thomas Harmon was able to close the gap on the straights, but in the corners on exit, he had nothing for Sturgill, and I think that really decided the race for him.
Indeed, it looked like it did. but we are going to look at ending off the broadcast here. So, Andrew, I know that you're a Twitch streamer. Where can everyone find you on a regular basis?
You can find me at least 3 times a week: Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays over at twitch.tv/Andrew Perkins. Stream a couple other days a week, but Output, stream that, and then 2 other leagues during the week.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Andrew, and hopefully some of these people go and check you out, guys. It's been an awesome race here today. Only 2 cautions for Richmond, and in a name bearing my branding, I thought that that was going to be quite impossible, but it turned out to be quite the excellent race. Christian Budd, even though he was dominant early, not coming through with the W, which major championship implications, dropped him down to second. But on the flip side to that, we're going to Bristol next week, another place where we can expect quite a bit of chaos, and it should be interesting. So until next time, don't forget, new build on iRacing drops tonight, guys. The Nashville Fairgrounds and Weed Sport Dirt Track Oval are dropping, so I'll be streaming later on for Weed Sport, doing my first impressions video, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that over at twitch.tv/Corey Has No Life 13. And until next week, on behalf of Andrew Perkins, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim Commentator, and I will say ciao for now.